Welcome back. Here we are heading into game 2 here between TSM and Talon in the group stage for TI 2022. Gods, Talon looks incredible in game 1.
They do, and it's funny. I mean, you may not see it yet, but like right away, TSM's like, okay, there we go, we're done with Doom. KP Doom, it's like his classic hero right now. I don't know about right now. He's got his Brewmaster and other heroes which are less meta, but as a team, yeah, they look good. They played the lanes well. They did the right things in the mid game. I think the only slightly shaky thing was 23 Savage getting picked off a couple of times, but even that was like they were making ground elsewhere on the map. So very, very impressed by Talon.
Yeah, there's a little bit of fine-tuning, tightening up to do, and things look incredibly good for them. Now, draft was one of the things you brought up for TSM to try and modify here, and
Yeah.
you know, is it enough banning these two heroes, or was that, you know, you mentioned the ordering of their heroes in the previous game was a little bit off?
Yeah, I think it was more their picks, but sometimes just changing your bans can lead you down a road where your picks end up making more sense or feel better. So we'll see if this is the right way to go about it. This time around, the picks have swapped, so you know that also can somehow just change the draft quite a lot. We'll see how TSM use this first pick, what they can kind of get out of having that last pick of this first phase. They get the Marcy to start things off, like some kind of Marcy +1 opener or a Marcy Morphling. There's a lot of scary heroes they can pick in that second pick of theirs.
Yeah, try and figure out where they head from this. My Talent with a second pick. I'm always looking for, you know, the Nyx Assassins, the Clockworks and stuff for that to come out early on.
Yeah, what do they want? What have we seen good against Marcy? Not a whole lot. Yeah, I think options are pretty limited. You're looking at like some of the stronger core heroes. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, Primal Beast, of course. Yeah, we didn't even click that this hero was still in the pool. Last game it was banned, so they get the Primal Beast, which mostly off lane, but has been flexed every now and then into the mid lane. We saw that from BetBoom Esports earlier today.
Yeah, I mean, what do you pick alongside it now, though? I mean, it still can be a flexible Primal Beast, but we've seen the heroes like Clockwork, Disruptor do pretty well against it, so it often feels good picking one of those to pair with it. Enchantress. Oh, that's a pretty hardcore lane. Primal Beast Enchantress, if that's your off lane, I'd be incredibly afraid.
Didn't see that one coming, but that's the group stage. Teams are going to bring their own new flair. It's kind of like, you know, can't really predict everything. These teams who are just playing their first games in TI, they're going to have watched the Last Chance qualifier, but you know, they're also playing all their scripts, so they've got some of their own picks and ideas about what they want to do. But there's TSM picking the Morphling. This is just some classic first pick Dota. You pick your support, your other team picks two heroes, and then you pick one of these Morphling type heroes and ban out the counters, ban your Drow, ban your AA. Just guarantee the Morphling has as good a game as possible. Tomato Morph is pretty damn scary.
Oh, it just sure is, yeah. There's the AA ban you mentioned. I'll get rid of him. Yeah, we've seen this Morph do some ridiculous things. You know, it's an oppressive lane from Talon here with Ench and Primal Beast, but when Morphling hits level 3, he becomes just this unkillable wall. No matter what his position 5 hero is to support him, he's able just to continue farming, get last hits, go into jungle, not a care in the world to scale up into that mid to late game.
I'm curious to see where Talon go. I think this is often like, you know, they have second pick. Often second pick, you're just picking either double support or support plus offlaner. They've gone, or support plus flex core maybe. Like that's what Primal Beast kind of is, but more offlane than anything. So they want to reveal as little as possible and try and get value out of last pick of the draft, which is where, you know, you're going to look to pick your carry or mid laner. Probably mid laner, but we'll see. They kind of know the carry matchup already, so picking your carry makes at least some sense.
Talon Esports turn to
Well, out goes the Naga, the Ember Spirit.
Nothing too crazy with these bans. I mean, we've seen Naga seems to just be rising in popularity. Illusion carries bad for Morphling too. Much like, different idea to the Drow and the AA, but it's just something that feels kind of annoying and tricky to play into. Just a hero that can really control the tempo of the game too, with her ability to cut waves and just farm so much of the map and force you to split up and go back and defend lanes.
Yeah, right. I mean, right now I really want someone to play with this Primal Beast, no matter what role he's in. If it's, you know, mid, off lane, I want more control, more damage to come in. I think Snapfire's been a hero that's had reasonable success, like Snap, Puck, Primal Beast. You got this Death Squad trio that kind of roams around and can find kills on the Morphling if he's not fast enough to shift strength.
Yeah, I think high damage support against Morphling makes a lot of sense, since that's where it's like, okay, it's Morphling strength, we don't care, we can kill him anyways. So the Snapfire types, maybe they reconsider going for another Disruptor, I'm not sure, but we'll find out soon enough. They're the ones who are going to go for a Puck this time. That's, you know, I like that against the Morphling. Again, though, it's picked in this position, like, kind of early on, where they could have just picked a support. Like, they kind of reveal their Puck and give TSM, you know, additional picks to address Puck. So I do feel like this 5th pick Puck is a little odd to me.
Yeah, I'm starting to wonder now, is this going to be like a team-specific thing where TSM and Talon, they've got players that so highly prioritize Puck that they just don't want it to be stolen?
Yeah. Because that's often where if you're picking a core in 5th pick, it's because you're worried about it being stolen. So, or you're trying to block pick it or something like, because yeah, both teams obviously play Puck. Maybe Talon wanted it last game, for example, and it got stolen, so they're just like, yeah, we got to prioritize this.
Out comes the Tiny, one of Brawl's favorites, along with a Chen now.
Ooh.
As Tiny's been one of these heroes that I've seen a lot of success against the Puck in the mid lane of late.
Yeah, this is, I guess, something we've seen, I think, less like at least during these the recent qualifiers, but if you go back even just a few months, there was a lot of, you know, Puck mid, Tiny counter picks. It gives you a lot of playmaking, gives you a hero that Marcy can really set up for, or you set for the Marcy. Chen gives you some really good kind of early 5-man, great aura buy, it gives you a lot of that tower pressure you want, and forces Talon into this Tidehunter pick, which is kind of the hero that's meant to now alleviate the pressure of the Chen and the tower push that's going to be coming your way. Does, interestingly, put Primal Beast somewhere different, or we're looking at what, a 4-position Primal Beast? 4-position
Feels like it.
Carry Primal Beast? Like, I don't think any of it. I when there's Morphling on the other side, you don't have any building push. Like, you need to pick a carry that matches up to Morphling, because you're not ending this game fast. At least, I don't think they are.
Yeah, I mean, I guess with like Onslaught and Coil, you can push people around, do a bit of damage there. You got some tremendous team fight and control from these 4 heroes, but they absolutely lack damage, it feels like, here as Talon. So safe lane carry is going to have to bring that a tremendous amount of firepower somewhere along the lines.
Yep. And they're saving it for their last pick, so they'll get to know what the lane is going to be, which is kind of why they didn't pick it up earlier in the draft. I think they wanted to know at least the lane, not just the carry matchup. So instead, they pick up their mid laner, and we'll see how TSM round out their draft, because they also are looking for an offlaner, it seems.
Man, this Chen pick as well. I feel like we talked about this during LCQ as well. It used to be you pick Enchantress into Chen because it counters Chen, but nowadays, but you were saying that they play opposing sides of the map, so that doesn't really come into play anymore.
Yeah, it's not as big a thing. I think the Chen is more like the lane dominator, whereas Chen, you hit this timing more. Like, it's a very timing based hero, whereas Ench is just like I want to be strong early in lanes, win my lane, secure my hard carries lane a lot of the time. And there's a few other like niche things the Ench can do. Ench also scales better into the late game. It's kind of like this weird thing where you power spike in the lanes and the late game, whereas Chen is like all about the mid game.
Hey, we've seen these like Dragonlance Enchantresses, right? Buying treads and fluffy hats and raindrops. Become a right clicker. And we'll see where things head. So Pudge was one of the bans from TSM, is that damage dealing carry that Talon are looking for. Viper banned by Talon. Does that indicate anything, you know, like a Bristleback, for example?
I don't think so. I think I think Viper is already good against like Primal Beast Tide. Like, these heroes don't want to play in a Viper, and you're looking at like, okay, offlaners who go with Marcy. Like last patch, there was a lot of Marcy Viper, Marcy Razor. I don't think it necessarily indicates Bristle. I think it's just good already. But definitely, if they're thinking Bristle, you want to ban Viper. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Man, it's so difficult last picking your carry into Morphling, isn't it? Because you just start thinking about Ags. You know, he's going to have Ags. No matter what hero I pick, it's going to feel bad.
Yeah, it's not fun. So we'll see where they go with their carry. I think with the Ench and Primal Beast, like, it's a very, to me, fast-paced draft. I think they want like some kind of objective taker, Roche taker. maybe where the Lone Druid ban comes in, but Ursa kind of comes to mind. I mean, for Talon, it's gonna be wait and see. Like, let's see what the lane is, and then pick a hero that has a good matchup, as well as against the offlaner, as well as against the morphling.
Yeah, I guess if it's a melee offlaner here for TSM, the Ursa you mentioned, also like a Monkey King could come into the draft for Talon. Lots of circles to play with, right? Dream Coil, Ravage. If you add in a Wukong's command there, you could absolutely dominate team fights, because TSM don't have a lot of that. They've got individual pick off and catch with Tiny Marcy, Morphling with scaling, Chen with push, but no wombo combos to speak of.
Yeah, I think there's a very clear already advantage for Talon when it comes to these team fights, so definitely something they have favoring them. We'll see if TSM try and address that, or if they say we're not going to be about these big team fight wombo combos. We can just play this kind of more poke and prod, and they go Death Prophet. So likely the offlaner, and a hero that gives them, I think, their draft a bit more of an identity here, where you've got Death Prophet, Chen, two heroes that both come online in a pretty big way around that kind of 15 to 20 minute mark, and take all these early towers. And these four heroes, other than the Morphling, are going to be the ones who make all the plays and take all the objectives, while the Morphling farms his 2-3 items and before he joins these fights.
Yeah, like maybe even earlier on, because we saw, what was it, Extreme Gaming during Last Chance qualifiers. It was like 6-7 minutes in, they were taking tier 1 mid. 10 minutes, they got two tier 1s down already. And you could see that map really open up for TSM to give more farm to the Morphling and allow him to scale that much faster. Talent, can't get the Nagasar, and that's already banned out. Yeah. And could we go back for a Terror Blade?
TP seems good. Slark seems good to me as well. Like, I'm not sure. It depends how, do they want to go for like the late game strength, which would be the TP? Do they want some kind of like good kind of, I guess, hero counter picks, which would be more the Slark? Or do they want like the tempo pushing carry, ignoring the matchups? And Lina, they've played carry Lina before. I think this is safe lane Lina. Yeah, 23 Savage picks it up. This is, I think also Entity maybe have done this. There's a couple teams who are doing this carry Lina.
V-Tune.
V-Tune. Yeah, Fear was tweeting about it with Na'Vi doing it. But yeah, this is not like something Talon just picked up because they saw in the qualifiers. They did this going back to the DPC.
Oh, wow.
So they were doing this, I think it was 2 or 3, 23 Savage, carry Lina. I think they just decided they want to range carry. And this is a great hero against Death Prophet. Like, you're going to outranger her. You just have all this burst right-click damage and make Saberlight's game really difficult. Not to mention, I think same story for Tomato on his Morphling.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, this is such a cool move, because usually, okay, go back a year, right? In this spot, you look at Talon, you think about 23 Savage, what safe lane carry does he want? Medusa, right? You think this is a Medusa game. Then you start thinking, okay, well, now in the meta, this DP, this Morphling, they're so much better in the lane, and then buying Ags on Morph into the late game, that a hero like Lina kind of hits all the right spots and doesn't suffer the same way as a Medusa would do. Having nuke damage against Morphling, having the outrange on the DP, being able to D-push, right? Having a carry that can actually shove waves and D-push against the Chen reasonably safely, so incredibly nice to have.
And there's a couple heroes you have to be afraid of, like both Tiny and Marcy are pretty good at getting on top of the Lina, but like once you get your BKB, you should be in a pretty safe spot. And I think I just like that it's not, like, it's a kind of less greedy approach. Like, you've got Puck, Tide, Lina as your 3 cores, and I just feel like these are heroes that play well around each other. It's less this idea that, like, on the TSM side, you're going to have 4 heroes ready to fight while Morphling farms, and then Talon's going to be able to meet those 4 heroes who are trying to push towers with Chen plus Death Prophet and be like, okay, we'll fight you. Lina doesn't need many items. We're ready to fight nice and early on, and they're just going to have a straight-up numbers advantage in some ways.
Yeah, she buys Falcon Blade and she's set, basically.
Exactly.
Level 29 Morphling Tomato.
Yeah.
Another one level away.
I feel like I see a lot of players who are level 29 on heroes. Like, they didn't prep for TI properly.
Or maybe it's like they got to level 29, their Dota Plus expired. They've not bought another month of it.
I don't know how it works. Right. Maybe the jump from level 29 to level 30 takes a long, long time, because definitely there are quite a lot. But we'll be helping ourselves into game number 2. Talon coming out guns blazing, took game 1 and looking to seal the deal with a quick 2-0 here.
Well, looking for it. And TSM, with that ability to scale with the Morphling and map space from DP Chen, they need these it feels like they really need these lanes to go well for themselves. If they bleed out in the lanes, it could all fall apart quite quickly for them because they need momentum. They need that wind in their sails to get Tiny to blink, to get Chen to mech. A lot of initial key items that they need to really play the game.
Whoa, look at that.
Let's see if they can do that. Just stepping back for a second, I'm curious, Gareth. Like when you look at Group B, where do you kind of rank these teams, and where do you see them kind of maybe finishing?
Well, yeah, I don't know. I think Group B is probably the closer group overall, where everyone can take games of each other. I don't know. My gut reaction before this game, before this series, would be to say that they're probably towards the bottom of Group B.
Yeah,
Tundra and Talon
yeah.
and TSM, both teams. Yeah,
I think that's fair. For me, I thought Talon, one of the teams, really in danger of maybe being bottom 2. I mean, that's what we saw at the Arlington Major. They didn't play well on the big stage and got eliminated there. But so far, so good for Talon. I think coming in when you're maybe one of the underdogs or dark horses, playing a weaker, both teams playing against maybe one of the, they're not playing Team Spirit, for example, is at least a good way to start things off if you get these wins.
a nice little morale boost. Get the victories going. Oh, Moon Meander taking a significant amount of damage, and he's actually rebounded back into this trample of Q. Fairy Fire is up. One more hit. They'll get it. Q gets first blood. Traded out, but Saberlight, even though he gets that kill, he's been dropped incredibly low. He's rushing Falcon Blade, so he's pretty low on regen. Just a set of tangos to his name.
Can't really easily come up close to these waves now, and once this Primal Beast is back, these things get pretty scary for him. So really good start for Talon in this top lane, getting the first blood gold and getting this big harass advantage early on as well.
Yeah, I mean, Moon Meander's going to try and do a bit of damage back, but every time he rebounds in, there's Trample, there's Light Strike Array. 23 Savage getting the better of these regen trades. Well, down at bottom, Tomato and Dubu. And Chen always very good with these hardcore Agi carries. Keep them alive through your healing of Headdress and Divine Favor, while Ench and Tide just looking to get leveled in experience, apply a little bit of pressure.
Yeah, as they get a few more levels, maybe we see points in the Gush, and with the Enchantress, there is perhaps some kill threat on the support Chen, but should be a lane where Tomato is pretty well protected. I don't really see a whole lot giving him a tough time in the laning stage.
And because we do have this melee plus ranged side lane. Oh, Moon Meander, he's all right. Q's going to take a full Spirit Siphon back away.
Is Primal Beast support just like the answer to Marcy or something? Is that what Talon have figured out? Because so far, every time I look at this top lane, the trample onto the Marcy is just really keeping Marcy at bay. Combine it with a ranged carry and you're in business.
Yeah, it feels like it, because like both of her spells are pretty low cooldown, so she wants to be continually jumping in. But every time Moon Meander does that, yeah, being met with some serious resistance.
Yeah, he's having a rough start on the Marcy, but we'll see if things pick up. So far, it hasn't really done too much to hurt Saberlight's game. He's still getting the CS he needs in lane and doing just fine.
Yeah, and for the first time in a long time, we're going to see this Enchantress against Chen. Still creeps back and forth between the two of them.
That's always some good times. Just grabbing the range creeps for now. Nothing fancy coming into play quite yet.
Oh, Hyde needs to heal up.
Yeah.
Just trying to get Tomato here to level 3, so he's got that second point in the shift. While Brawl in the mid lane. Yeah. Tiny against Puck. Dead even in the CS.
Yep. Bit of a foreign battle for now. We'll see probably... We'll see if the 4-minute runes are contested, but definitely 6-minute power runes. I think we'll see those support rotations, probably from both sides, to guarantee or try and guarantee your mid laner a key impact rune.
Especially if it's one of those, arcanes or hastes. Both of these heroes very adept at very quickly moving into the side lanes to utilize them. Hyde being chased back by Dubu now. Get out of my jungle.
Yeah.
Chen's territory.
Your answer to who's the king of the junglers, maybe. At least for now, Chen doing some bullying, despite Ench being a bit more known for her early game laning prowess. But both supports doing a good job giving their cores a good lane. Like both Tide and Morph, pretty even on CS, both farming. No lanes really being lost for anyone, other than the top lane, I think, going ever so slightly Talon's way. But even there, it's pretty marginal, the difference that the two cores are getting.
Yeah, I mean, Saberlight got his Falcon Blade first. 23
True.
Savage still a little bit of money away. Needs to buy the recipe up.
Yep. We'll see if Q can find any more kind of aggressive plays on the Moon Meander. He's constantly looking for these trample moves, but the uproar coming out, looks like Moon just going to disengage and... Nice. I love how the Lina and Death Prophet just like, you guys do your thing, we're not even getting involved.
We're just going to hit creeps over here. Right, do make the jump though. Moon Meander disposes Savage back. Light Strike Array. It landed on the DP and actually keeps him alive. Q there to bodyguard his Lina for the meantime as well. Yeah, pretty cool sentry battle as well between this Marcy and the Primal Beast. There's like 5 sentries being spent and denied and killed.
Oh.
Really trying to unlock the pull camps.
Yeah, poor Moon, he's like, I'm a 4 position, why do I've got to keep buying sentries? Like, I want my boots. I don't think Q minds quite as much. He's almost got his boots too, with the help of the first blood gold, so... Another team getting too much of an advantage out of this. See Tomato down bottom, he's getting his farm just fine, and back at mid, 6-minute mark approaching soon, so those support rotations, this is where you're going to start considering them. You can't rotate too late, you got to make sure you kind of get set up in position nice and early if you want to secure these runes.
Yeah, Hyde in a great position right now with the Warpine Raider. Bottom runes guarded by the Enchantress. We'll see if this Primal Beast wants to move, because he's been gone on a little bit by Moon and Saberlight. Spirit Siphon cancelled. Does have another one here, but the Trample and Savage arriving, putting big damage onto the DP, while Q, the Fairy fires and turns onto Moon now. Another Uproar is ready. A Bounty Rune going to be gathered up by the Moon Marcy, and she's out of there, while in the mid lane, Makoto going to get the Arcane Rune, as that Enchantress did bodyguard and force Bryle to try and rotate bottom.
Yeah. It was... And because the fight was happening top, Moon couldn't actually come in to either snipe or deny that top rune. You know, it was a nice attempt from Bryle with the help of the Chen to try and kill the Ench at bottom rune, but rune spawn top, and it's going to be Puck with an Arcane Rune, so... You know, something you just have to be wary of, play around, don't give Puck... I mean, Puck's going to find a Dream Call opportunity if he wants to, but we'll see how aggressive Makoto wants to be, if there is going to be any consideration to TP to any of these sidelines. Doesn't actually have a TP just yet.
Hyde, very sneaky. Denies the Bounty Rune as Brawl was coming back down to refill his bottle. I couldn't catch up to the Ench either. But a lot of freedom for Tomato though. It feels like Tidehunter, not a hero that can really pressure the Morphling that much, but equally the other way as well. A Hood on the Tide means KP can just freely sit here.
Yep. Yeah, both these. Bit of a snoozer relay. Morphling just doing his thing, hitting creeps. KP, 0 risk of time. I guess if Morphling slips up, you can maybe get a kill on him, but no points in Gush, no Ravage yet, so not really much cooking down below.
Yeah, not much mana either for KP. And he's bringing Soul Ring out to himself, so going to help out a little bit, but this mana burn creep, very irritating. And a bit of a push on the mid lane. Ench joins forces with Makoto, still holding the Arcane Rune on the Puck.
Yeah, just using the dominated enchanted creep to tank the shots and do some extra damage. They're getting this tower very low. Moon can't go in. If he goes in, Makoto's just going to kill him, I feel like.
And they go the Ench instead.
Yep.
Try and kill off Hyde, but that final bit of damage from the Tide. It looked like maybe the Ench could get it away with the Nature's Attendants. Bryle says absolutely not. 8-minute rune.
Yep. 8-minute rune spawning and being secured by Dubu. Bryle is going to be able to get it down bottom with the help of the Chen, so that's good news for him.
And walk straight up to the Puck. Against the 2-man Avalanche, but bottle refill looks like it's there.
Oh, he didn't get it?
Oh no.
Maybe the Avalanche actually stopped it if he didn't pass it quick enough. I'm not sure, but maybe that's why Bryle came in to stop the bottle refill.
That's clever.
Yeah, you come in and maybe you like toss. I mean, maybe he was thinking like I'll toss the puck away from the tower or something. But just the Avalanche alone, I think, stopped the bottle refill. So super heads up play from Bryle there.
And now a smoke into that top jungle looking for Savage. Saberlight and Moon Meander, they see the Lina. Stren with a rebound disposed. Savage tries to get spells out before she dies. Kill off some neutrals, but she knows there's no escaping. And Saberlight spends that first exorcism for a big kill on the position 1.
Yeah, some nice little stacks to go with it as well, so rewarded for their aggression here. And that's definitely, this is kind of the weak point of the lane. You get out the laning stage and you want to go into this, like, you know, you want to farm like your boots of travel, BKB, but you're very prone to these rotations from heroes like Marcy.
And Morphling, the flip side of that, completely free. 16 denies, 60 last hits, and it's Q and hide. And we'll find Dubu in this bottom jungle. A lot of these jungle wards just scouting out and allowing these sweeping moves from both teams. Getting a nice D ward there as well, as it looks like they want to try and make another move on that mid lane with catapult waves coming shortly. They can set up for it.
Yeah, we'll see if they can get the 10-minute room for Makoto and Puck. Brow sending an illusion top, so let's go for the Avatos in the mid lane. And he actually just straight up solo kills him. Right?
What?
Oh, and he gets the regen rune. Of
course he does.
I mean, he deserves it. I mean, not that. Yeah, that was a good play, but it was like Puck just did not respect the damage output.
Ridiculous stuff. And then top lane, speaking of damage output, level 3 sidekick destroys the Enchantress there. And even without exorcism, TSM chipping away at that tier 1 tower. Braal's going to cut the wave and clear out a camp at the same time. Yeah, what's Talon's next move? Come down bottom, try and slowly push here, but I'll need more than just the Puck and the Tide.
Kind of rare misplay there by Makoto. I think he shifted away from strength treads and just didn't have the survivability to tank an Avatos combo. And we'll see if they can make this counterplay down bottom. They want to push TSM out of this area. Mumianda looking for the rebound escape. They've got a Dream Coil. Not sure if it's going to be needed here.
Chase him down with a gush instead. Tumble forward, kill off the Marcy. But while this is happening, that mid lane tower with Chen creeps there. One will get enchanted up by Hyde. Okay, that's going to be enough then to stop the push. Brawl doesn't want to go any further forward. So Makoto with catapult bottom should get this tier 1. But it feels like map space belonging to TSM. Mainly because Morphling just hasn't been touched. He's top of net worth, 0-0-0. Kind of an ideal situation for your Morphling to be in right now.
Yeah, these games where there's just no action in your lane feel great. I mean, there has been now with the 11-minute tower push, but it wasn't like there was like a smoke gank headed his way kind of in conjunction with the push. It was just, you know, no pressure whatsoever. Tomato just continues to free farm and continues to really just have this uncontested game. And I do feel like the Morphling v Lina carry matchup, like, I think is fine for the Morphling. Like, yeah, this Lina has like this range advantage, but waveform kind of negates it. Like, you've got a way to get on top of this Lina.
What do you take when you take spell amplification, right? If you turn into that Lina, you take her stats and you get more spell amp.
Oh, with the Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah. So if you turn into Lina, you're a right-click turret, and you do massive amounts of magic damage. That's not too bad.
Yeah. I guess for maybe partly why they picked the Lina like an right-click carry is that stealing spell amp is like doesn't hurt Lina as much as like an Agi hero having their, you know,
attack speed.
Yeah.
Yeah. It always feels real nice when you're morphling against like a Medusa or a TB or something. Steal their Agi, steal their attack speed.
Yeah. We'll see if that Ags comes in though, because not every morphling I've been seeing is actually going for the Ag Scepter. A lot have not actually, from what I've seen. It's a lot of just typical stats builds, Mantis, Scotties, BKB, Satanics, Butterflies, etc.
KP for now going to plant himself in front of that bottom tower. Make sure Morphling doesn't have a freebie there. It feels like Talon just content to get this Lina up towards BKB after the boots of travel. And the bot's going to allow her to play the map pretty wide, join in fights when she needs to, but otherwise stay opposite side of the map to any kind of nonsense, keep farming away.
Definitely a pace of game that TSM are very happy. 1,000 gold lead for the Morphling over all the Dire Cores, and like even though the overall gold between the two teams is even, the farm is just in a good place for them. And Morphling can't quite get the solo kill on high. Fluffy Hat,
that's fine,
saves lives, but yeah, it's fine.
It's go time for the rest of the team. Mech on Chen, Blink on Tiny, TSM. They're going on a fishing expedition.
Yeah, Yeah, this
Mikoto is top.
I'd love another puck kill here. It is daytime too, so get a bit easier access to some of this vision.
Yeah, they don't want to jump the Primal Beast.
They're ignoring him. I think Brown knows where the puck is. He Tumblr's toy. He's hopping his way to this top lane. Mikoto hiding in the trees for now. They're still pinging it out. They're hoping that maybe he shows himself.
Meanwhile, Tomato is waveformed into the Primal Beast, does get his shift off. Oh, good Hurricane back, but the Light Striker Ray misses. Tomato healed by the hand of God. TSM not coming in to save him, though, as they are fighting in the mid lane. They're going to get the Morphling out of there, though. Somehow, Tomato escaping danger while KP dies mid.
Yep. Bryle made the rotation back mid with the Blink Dagger, and yet Tomato able to keep himself alive and not require rotations means they can make this play in the mid lane. Kill off the Tidehunter, plus take the tier 1 mid with the Exorcism. Just really solid play from TSM so far in game 2 after a rough game 1.
Tomato quickly up towards top, realizing the 3 heroes rotated for him, so he's got plenty of space to farm there. Kill off that tier 1 mid lane, and map space opens for them to find the pick off on Hyde with the remnants of the Exo. TSM, 7-3, doesn't appear to be a massive net worth lead, but it feels like that flow of the game is in their favor. They're the ones dictating how things are going, where the ganks are happening, and forcing Talon further and further back, away from their triangle. And Saberlight with bots comes straight in onto the Lina, the toss forward with the Avalanche. They found Savage.
They're everywhere. I mean, great observer were there on the high ground and allowed them to invade these Ancients. That's the big kill to be getting there. Savage has just been kind of mode farm for a while, trying to get this BKB up, so anytime there's these heroes just passively farming and not really contributing, you find a way to gank them, it just feels so good. It's such a morale booster. You know this Lina's desperately trying to just farm BKB before she fights, and you're just slowing down Talon's ability to make any kind of play on the map.
Go for me.
Wait up.
And
Yeah, look real good with his Primal Beast.
yeah. I mean, it looked good at the start in the lanes, but since then we haven't really seen a whole lot out of Q's Primal Beast. I mean, 2-1-1, it's not like he's played fine, but it's just about what can this hero achieve in this 5-position role.
Man, what can you do to play with a puck? Because right now, Mikoto, the one being jumped on, dodges the Avalanche and will jaunt to the orb after the toss ends. But Moon Meander here with a Dispose Unleash. Coil expended and the onslaught forward. Moon Meander still going to pick off the puck, though, and the Primal Beast open up here for Saberlight to chase forward. KP's arrived, but to no avail. Bryle can go for another combo in, try to blow up Hyde with a bit more damage of the Spirit Siphon. They'll get the streak onto Bryle's Tiny. And TSM, that's 3 heroes. They're in like a 3v4. They're winning the fight. And you've still got Chen farming and stacking, Tomato farming jungle.
Chen farming? That's not heroes meant to be farming? What's going on? But yeah, I mean, Tiny with an Arcane Rune, that's the other big thing about having this big kind of map control advantage is you get full control of these runes. So like, as soon as a fight breaks out, Bryle is thrilled for it. Like, he doesn't land the first Avalanche that he blindly throws into Fog, but it comes off cooldown so fast with the help of the rune that they still get the kill on the puck. Mikoto's Orb had just come back up, but wasn't able to escape, and they're looking to follow this up with this tier 1 bottom tower. Level 2 Exorcism now, so Talon want to fight this one, though. They're poised to try and defend this. They've got Ravage. They've got Dreamcall in 6 seconds as well.
And they've got that deep ward to try and play into, but it looks like TSM, they've skipped past it. TP'd into mid, aiming for Roshan. And Bryle made the long walk to tier 2 before TPing, making sure he is safe and sound. And forcing Talon to really migrate from bottom back through mid up towards Roche, who's already half dead.
They're not stopping this. Zero chance of that. Dies too fast, and also it was TSM recognizing that all of Talon had gone bottom to defend the tier 1 tower, so they were just like, okay, we're done. We'll go take Roche. That's pretty free for us. Morphling's now got Aegis plus Manta, can actually join in on these fights and play hyper aggressive with like waveforming into this Lina, so feels really good for TSM now. 3k gold lead, but it feels like they're much further ahead than that number really suggests.
Yeah, Tomato having this complete freedom. Aegis, Manta. 0-0-0 still. I wonder if he's being teased by his teammates. Like, come on, get one assist or something.
No, he's proud of that. That's a carry player score right there. That's a true carry player. You know, if you're 0-0-0 at 30 minutes in, you've done your job.
Good dispose save. And the toss play. Moon Meander and Bryle both trying to slip away from this as Talon. They hunt for the Tiny, but he's so incredibly tanky. Laguna Blade spent onto Moon Meander now, but he's got the Psychic Lifesteal and the Unleash to go. The Ravage from KP won't click on anyone but the Marcy, so they kill off Moon at the very least. But now the turnaround from TSM. Thinking about going high ground. They've got the vision there to see what Talon are up to. And Hyde will quickly remove that, so no further opportunities. But at Talon, they spent time, numbers, cooldowns to get just a Marcy kill.
Yeah, it's a lot of spells for a Marcy. At the same time, I mean, I guess TSM, they brought their entire team as well, but it's a move that Talon were making, knowing that, okay, they have Aegis, but they don't have Exorcism. Death Prophet's kind of their strongest hero alongside the Tiny in many ways, so fighting while Exorcism is down makes a lot of sense, but all those spells for just a Marcy does not feel good, particularly, and they're going to know that TSM, the second Exorcism is back, will be ready to make their next big move, and if they're quick about it, Tide won't have Ravage, for example. It's going to be really tough to defend.
Yeah, they've got time to do this. A great thing about having a Chen like this on your team, and thinking about that mid-game timing, you said it. Yes, Enchantress in the lane, going late game looks pretty good, but right now, Dubu with his mech and nearly Vlad's, he's farming enemy jungle. So, like, the slices of the pie that Talon can actually try and take and eat, they're being diminished here by TSM. Completely outfarmed across the map from bottom to top.
Yeah, I mean, just seeing the minimap, they're farming, 3 lanes, all of top jungle. Not really farming their own jungle, but that's already a lot of farm being accrued and just not really being matched by anyone on Talon's side.
It always feels tough when your puck is relegated to cutting waves. I think that's a glyph just to make sure that the puck doesn't kill that wave, so TSM can keep going for tier 2.
They were using the curry, Morphling's curry and everything to try and scout the trees and find the puck, but Kodo does get out of there. But this tier 2 tower will also be getting out of this game as that frees things up. They'll take the outpost. They'll also find themselves a kill here in the mid lane potentially if they got the damage to bring down KP. He's pretty damn tanky, but doesn't seem like he's tanky enough.
Well, have what it takes. I mean, he had a ward there. He saw them all coming. He thought he was tanky enough, but you add in the DP with maxed out Spirit Siphon. Okay, it's not percentage based anymore, but it's still a tremendous amount of damage.
Yeah.
Now TSM, after tier 2 top, they can think about mid. Might not even use the Exo here. They've already forced the glyph, so they can wait for the next wave to arrive to go for another round. I do like this from Talon, at least, creating a bit of space on the map for themselves, but Savage has got to be wary not to stick around for too long. And Radiant still have the outpost there.
I mean, Savage had 0 mana. He wasn't looking for a fight. He was just trying to get that last couple morsels of farm before TPing home. He used up his entire mana pool just to farm the map. Really speaks to the state of this game for Talon, where they have 0 interest in any kind of a fight right now, which is a little concerning. Like, you're playing into Morphling. Like, I don't imagine Talon feel like they have any kind of outright superior late game. Definitely they haven't lost if it goes late, like Lina, Tide, Puck. Like, they still have a lot of ways that can address a Morphling. Particularly Morphling, a carrier that doesn't like building BKB, so those 3 cores all with lots of stuns, lots of magic damage, silences, that can make Morph's life pretty difficult in team fights.
They're amassing all their forces on the doorstep of Talon right now, though. And TSM even jumping in with Moon Meander to try and start things off. Talon.
Oh, top lane, Laguna Blade on Bryle. I don't think Savage has this kill.
It doesn't look like it.
Aggressive, to say the least. Ambitious, perhaps. But, yeah, at this point, we're just, with Aegis in hand, there's just going from tower to tower. This is the, Roche #1. We take all your outer towers. We farm the entire map and just kind of try and increase our lead, which hasn't completely... I mean, they have only 3k gold lead. They've had this 3k gold lead for quite some time, so it really speaks to the fact that Talon are doing, pretty decent when it comes to at least finding efficiency farm trades.
And they're giving that full bottom lane, bottom jungle as well. I guess TSM, they got all these tier 1s and tier 2s in the most important spots, mid and top, and the outpost. So now it's a pretty simple move if they want to make it to get tier 1 bottom lane, go into enemy Ancients area, control that zone of the map. You're gonna start thinking about Roshan in the next 2.5 minutes.
Yep.
It's one of those situations where you kind of want to fight for both teams to get your spells on cooldown and then wait for them to come back up for the next Roshan.
Yep, the teaser fight, where it's like, okay, we'll throw our spells, get a small lead, and then they'll reset and Roche will happen. But as it stands, neither team getting too aggressive or bold with their moves. It does look like a potential smoke is coming here from TSM. This Bryle Tiny now has an Aghanim Scepter as well, so he's got the tree volley to play around.
Oh, it's huge. When you put sidekick on him, that's a lot of damage.
Juicy. I like where this is going. We'll see if there's any kind of response in Talon. It just feels nice because there's like these backline heroes like Lina who stands so far back, so you've kind of got this way to deal damage or zone her away and actually threaten to kill her. This
have that
needs to be careful, by the way. Invis Tiny coming Makoto's way. He's going to farm this lane and get out.
Oh, Makoto jaunts to the orb. Bryle knows. He's pinged out the puck.
Yep.
North or south? Which way do you head, Bryle? South, straight on to Makoto. Finds the catch with the avalanche toss. The tree volley. Good damage, but they need more catch. Marcy maybe can rebound and jump in, but they're struggling to keep tabs on this Makoto puck, who is so slippery.
Yeah. He should be fine here. No Blink Dagger on Marcy. TP out in the trees.
We're good.
Yeah, it was a tough one for Bryle. I think, you know, it looks like he goes a bit too early there, but he knows the puck is just going to keep tucking deeper into these trees, so you go any later and he may not even have a chance to initiate in, so that's the strength of the puck, and that's what Makoto's going to keep doing, and also where, you know, RC's going BKB, like, which is totally fine, makes sense, but without a blink, they don't have the best catch for puck.
Well, they're on the tide, tossing him back across the Tomato, and they've got enough magic damage. Adaptive strike, a lot of right click with a sidekick, huge DPS to burst KP.
Yeah. Morph is saying, we're not sidekicking out Tiny, I'm the real carry here.
Yeah.
And he's got Scotty now. That to me is the big item for Morphling. Like, it just gives you you don't get kited quite as badly. You get on top of the lean and you've got that extra slow to really make life difficult for Talon's cores. Plus a Silver Edge queued up to address the tide.
Oh, wow. Doubling down on it. I really like the fact that Tomato's running around with like between 2,100 and 2,400 HP, knowing that if there's a salvo of puck Lina spells, he's going to survive it and be able to withstand that initial burst of damage.
Definitely being wise about it. It's bottom lane. Talon, I think they want to try and initiate in, but there's a lot of TSM heroes here.
There's no mana on this DP. He does get the BKB off, but the Laguna Blade finishes off Moon Meander. Saberlight gonna BKB TP away. The rest of TSM, though, yeah, gonna run away from this chase of Talon. Puck jaunting forward, does still have the coil. Doesn't really want to target the Morphling, though. Again, such a difficult hero to kill without your full force. And it feels like you need Laguna Blade to really finish him off.
I think if you're Talon, you're like, okay, maybe wanted a bit more there, but you hold your tower, you kill the support, and they're kind of in this stage of the game where they want to just maybe contest Nick's Roshan, if anything.
Yeah.
Their cores are lacking mana, so they do need to kind of heal up, and they've got Scotty on their own Lina, so they're starting to feel pretty strong. I do feel like Lina needs that like +1 damage item, has a Silver Edge queued up, or even just like a Crystallis maybe is going to be enough for the next team fight, but you really just need a little bit more right-click damage, I think, to take a team fight still on Talon's Lina.
Yeah, it's nice to see them so disciplined there. Oh, KP. Rebounded.
Cast the curse him.
So, is he going to get away with the Glimmer Cape? Yeah, he's got that little Ogre Seal totem as well. But yeah, nice to see Talon so disciplined with their ultis, because you could have easily seen a Coil or a Ravage come out there, but knowing that they could have a small chance of using it to get a kill, rather hold it and have a bigger chance of a team fight around Roshan, as Hyde under the Glimmer Cape gets a bit of distance from Saberlight and Moon Meander, but not from Bryle. In with that massive tree volley. Hugh down to low HP as well. BKBs and pulverizes into the DP, but Tomato comes out with a double kill. Both supports annihilated by the Morphling and the Hurricane. Drags the tide back into them. They will kill off Moon Meander now, and KP, he's holding Ravage, but he won't get a chance to use it. Tomato triples up, gets the takedowns on them all, and Roshan's available to them with his Exo.
Yeah. That's a good fight for TSM, just charging forward, finding, even when it's just two supports, it still adds up. Ench kind of did a good job, I think, positioning to pop the smoke gank, but Q made the, perhaps just, you know, he didn't have the info and he kind of charged in and got caught in the avalanche as well. I think that was a scenario where you just let your Ench die, you regroup, and you know, maybe you can contest Roche by just delaying it and waiting for Edge to respawn, but as soon as Primal Beast dies as well and also commits his BKB, there's no real way to keep fighting at that point.
Radiant's
Now how do you kill a Morphling twice?
Yeah, about that.
4-0-0. And like you said 10 minutes ago, Lena's done a good job keeping up in the net worth. Not too far behind the Morphling there, 23 Savage.
Yeah, it's just tricky. Like, I think the Morph's ability to get on top of you is going to make this carry matchup always a little bit challenging. Combined with the fact that there's the Tiny as well. It just feels like the Morphling's got this nice scaling partner. Pug, you know, farming well, but is being more of this pesky split pusher. Actually going for a Dream Coil up top. Was that a Lena Boots of Travel that got cancelled, I think?
Yeah, it looks like it's on cooldown, so I think you're right there.
Yeah.
They wanted to pair up on the Tiny.
I think Tiny killed the creep that Lena was maybe TPing onto. Dire did use... I don't know if the glyph was right there, but yeah.
Yeah, difficult times for them, as it looks like now. Right. He's got a Crystallis. Enchantress doesn't stand a chance against that.
That's why you go Tree Volley, because there's an edge
And
in
mid
the
lane,
game.
Hurricanes? Dubu toying with Q there, just dragging him around a little bit. There's 23 Savage down bottom. What's happening down there? TPing away from Tomato.
That was a very brave LSA before he TP'd. He missed it.
Wild
Luckily,
stuff.
Tomato... Like, if Tomato just waved on top of him, he would have died there, but Tomato doesn't exactly know what's going on. He's playing blind.
But yeah, I've got a question for you. Have we had a Ravage this game?
No.
30 minutes, 0 Ravages, right?
Correct.
And it's not down to KP, you know, being a bad player. It's just like he hasn't had opportunities because there's no one to kill.
Yeah. I mean, it's like a team thing with Talon. They've just been on the back foot so much and not had any opportunities. Like, definitely, I mean, maybe they have had opportunities. They just haven't gone for them. Use their smokes effectively, but no.
The threat of the Ravage.
Yeah. You don't want to put it on cooldown. That's when they take things like Roshan.
Yeah.
Use Ravage and they're going to go high ground.
Maybe this blink will help. Bryle, though. Hey, he's got a toss back on Savage. A little onslaught in. Marcy jumps forward with Saberlight, and there's the blink Ravage. KP gets the 2, caught up in it. Saberlight gets his BKB out, but Savage in trouble. Bryle needs a couple more hits, and Saberlight will come in to finish the job. Bryle's still alive under that coil and turning onto Mikoto now as Tomato arriving in puck form. Another Avalanche missing, though. Allows Mikoto to get back to high ground. The trouble being, TSM still hold Aegis on Morphling for 2 minutes, still have Exo running for another 10 seconds, and the tier 3 with no glyph is easily destroyed.
We'll get the glyph back for the racks here, but it doesn't look like Talon can do anything about this. I mean, Tidehunter's just kind of an aura bot. No Ravage right now, no Lena means no damage, and trying to go in, but...
And
where's
died
the
forward
damage?
of the onslaught. BKB Primal Beast. Melee Barracks is on 100 health, just a couple of hits away from death.
Yeah.
TSM going to respect Talon's high ground hold, though.
I thought Tomato would just go back in. I guess they just don't care about the melee racks that much. I mean, I do feel like teams are just so used to playing against like one lane of lost creeps that it's not worth overcommitting for a barracks. And Tomato has the silver edge. We'll find KP down bottom.
Can he just solo this? Oh, yes, the Glimmer?
Wow. Almost. I'm surprised KP went... Like, he saw him Silver Edge next to him, and then KP tried to farm a creep wave. That was so risky.
Calculated.
Yeah.
He knew.
He got out.
Hyde has the Glimmer Cape. He's going to save me. Back into that top jungle to reclaim their own outpost. This is so telegraphed, though. Like, TSM knows exactly where they are, so they smoke up and they play towards that top part of the map. Mikoto, they got the stuns for him. Smoke breaks, the phase shift. Bryle, Avalanche, toss. No, the blink away into the toss play, and they were absolutely ready for him.
Tomato was just waiting for the... He was literally standing on top of his blink location, and now we get to finish off the racks. And they may just go for a second lane here, try and force a puck buyback. He does have it. Top lane,
They catch
meanwhile.
TP.
Okay.
Yeah, Saberlight. Half health from Laguna Blade. They get the kill on the
That's
Death
nice.
Prophet. But the rest of TSM, they're on your tier 3 top.
Home in trouble, guys. Home in trouble.
Big trouble. Morphling's going to wait for him back as the Aegis expires. 3 hits instantly Enchantress disappears.
They're trying to force this.
Just expiring before our very eyes, and they do move forward. KP has Blink Ravage. Popsetter's Wraith packed. Morphling trying to be focused down here by Talon, but the damage from the tree volley nearly annihilates the puck. Tidehunter with the three of them chasing Tomato. They desperately scramble and want this kill. But in the back lines, Mikoto's being held back. Moon Meander TP's home successfully. So they get the DP in the Chen, but that was meant to be Talon's way back into the game with a Morphling kill.
And Tubu split pushing bottom gets a tier 3 tower with his creeps.
Yep.
But yeah, all these buybacks, like they're buying back knowing that they've killed Death Prophet and can win a team fight. Like they just need to Dream Coil some of these key targets, but the Lina just wasn't quite there on time to kind of combo with KP's Ravage. Not to mention the Coil only catching a Chen, so Talon just getting kind of eluded, just really good kind of disengaging from TSM, stopping Talon from landing any of these key spells.
Is Bryle going to solo kill the Ench here? Yes? No? Maybe? Yes, he does. A little dangerous, though. Rebound, the totem, seal flopping into danger again, getting exposed across, but dead to Savage. In jumps Saberlight, though, focusing the Lina, disarming up Savage as well, while Morphling trying to shred through with the right-click damage. Life Striker is there, and the Lina dead. Tide now stranded. Another seal flop to the high ground, gets a bit of distance for KP, and a blink away to TP. Tomato is close to getting one touch in there to cancel the blink. Not quite able to do it.
Okay. Not bad for Talon in some ways, like killing off the Tiny there. Lina comes very close to surviving. She almost got her Silver Edge off it there at the end. It was just barely coming back off cooldown. And could have maybe ran away since there was no more gem on the Radiant side, but... Playing cute. BKB. And scurry himself out of there, but... This is a game that...
Tomato.
Tomato is getting massive here.
So very scary playing as this puck. I guess you have the Eon Disc now, so another little safety measure, but Scythe of Ice up on the DP. That is a huge item for TSM to utilize here. 30 seconds for potential Roche spawn.
Smart pickup, because so much of this game has been made annoying by the puck just cutting waves and split pushing, and now you've got this not just Scythe of Ice, but a Blink to go with it. So this Blink Hex as a way to kind of set up and give you another catch, since, you know, you can't entirely rely on Tiny to be everywhere always at once.
Tomato with a fresh BKB. Arcane Rune. They want something up top. Sends Manta Illusions out to try and scout first. No vision here for them, though, and Mikoto playing under his own Observer Ward with KP nearby. 2 minutes for Roche means there's a long wait. But TSM, they can feel this now. Victory is in their grasp.
This smoke could be the one to break this game wide open. Roshan not for 2 minutes, but these teams don't know that.
Smoke breaking. Saberlight silenced, gets the D-Ward quickly. In jumps KP, the Ravage clips onto the 3. Light Strike and Laguna Blade looking to kill off the DP. Saberlight can't turn and fight, but they get hide with Moon Meander and Tomato. Light Strike raised onto the Lina and they get a double kill for Morphling. I don't think Talon stand a chance now. 2 heroes dead, 2 big cores gone for a minute and a half. No Enchantress, and high ground is ready for the taking here as TSM.
Yeah, like the way I think Talon approached that fight is about as logical and effective as it gets. Like, go on Death Prophet, burst her down, don't let her get off Exorcism, but there's just too many weapons on this TSM team. You use all that, like a BKB Lina to kill Death Prophet, and then all of a sudden, like, Marcy's jumping in with a BKB and helping kill Lina with this Morphling. Like, this Morphling just kills everybody, like BKB or not, he doesn't care.
The Eon Disc is there. A toss around. I can't finish Mikoto off just yet. Focusing Q instead. A rebound dispose puts him in an awkward spot. Needs the buyback from him. And they get the coil on Marcy and Tiny, but the toss is there from Bryle. Secure the kill on the puck and surely secure the game.
Yeah, that's got to be it. This Morphling untouched the entire game. 11-0-1. Tomato showing why, you know, against this TSM team, you may just need a first phase ban of Morphling, particularly when they have that first pick and can do that 4-pick Morphling into banning out, you know, the pesky counters, and just didn't really feel like Talon had a good response ready for it. They picked this kind of slow-paced draft that didn't really actually scale that well.
Yeah, Lina looked decent, but that's Morphling completely untouched. Breaking through every member of Talon now. Q the next on the menu. Even diving into the fountain, but turning quickly to focus down the throne and tie things up in Aspesta 2. 1-1. And both these victories, both teams look pretty good. Very, very evenly matched. I think mainly, coming down to that draft.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where I'm sure both teams came in hoping that, if they want to go up a bracket, they want that 2-0. So imagine both teams will be happy it wasn't, the 0-2, but at the same time, it's like, this is one where maybe we could have gotten a win. But yeah, two very